Here's the opening range results for April 2024. A little late on the results monthly, but here we go. Again, just a reminder, the ones in red I do not count into the totals, and we discuss those a little more in depth. But let me just go through the numbers first. The Dow is very active this month. 165 points. It was very clean. You don't see any red here for any of the Dow entries. So one of the bigger months the Dow has had. Now we go to the NQ. NQ had smaller than normal month, 46.25 points. This one here, the 8.5, is actually a legit 8.5, no problem. This one as well. The 50% is where the issue is. I didn't count the 8.5 in this total here. But for this trade here, the 50%, it took 3 entries to get a win. So you entered once at 10.15, then you would double it up at 10.26, and then you'd have to go in again at 11.11. And that third one finally won. What's interesting is April tends to have, in at least one of the indices that we follow, a really bad day. NQ, you would have broke even if you would have continued the thing, but you would have had a huge drawdown while you're in the trade. Nothing really. I mean, there was some news at 10 o'clock, which started the process. But your first entry for the 50% wasn't until 10:15. So just a uglyish day. If you would have continued, you would have been fine. You would have got a break even, but you would have had to add 2 additional times to it. But and then we go to the 9th of April. 9th of April was here, so the 25%, this 6.25 point is that one is legit. That one is a little later, and then this one, the question marks, you would have entered. There must have been some type of news event at just around 10:30, because there was a pivot hit at 10:27, a pivot hit at 10:28, pivot hit at 10:29, pivot hit at 10:30. So, and the opening range was 25 and almost 26 points for that particular day. So there must have been some particular news that it dropped, 75 points in 2.5 minutes on the Dow, or on the NQ. So whatever that news event was an issue, obviously. So at 10:28, your entry would have been at 18,302, and then again a minute later, 26 points lower, and then again a minute later, 26 points lower of that. So however you would have handled that one, again, is one of those. April, I don't know why it is in April, but if you look through the statistics, there's always a date in April, maybe early May, that thing just kind of blows up. And that's the one thing with this trading style, is you just want to avoid those type of blow up days, and that was definitely a news driven, whatever the news was. I don't remember what the news was at this point, but whatever the news was kind of blew up that part of it. So that's not included. Again, you would have been fine if you would have just added. So you would have had to have 3 entries again, or 2 additional ads, I should say. Same thing as up here, 2 additional ads on the 25%. The 50% was a break even there. So that's the NQ, just a lower amount plus potentially a couple of blowouts, just depending on how you trade it exactly. And then the S&P, 19.5 points, which is on the high end for the S&P as well. And then the one in red here, which is April 17th. The first pivot missed the exit by a tick, making pivot number 2 a most safe entry. So it's a 1.5 officially, but I consider that first pivot to be a win in my own type of trading for it. So I would not personally take it, but officially that would be a 1.5 point winner, which would add to it here. So that's the results for April. Hopefully I'll have your May update a little sooner than 3 weeks, 4 weeks after the end of the month. But I hope you're enjoying them and you're using this information. Take care. Have a good month.